The first signs appeared on a Tuesday morning in Geneva. Dr. Sarah Chen noticed them during her routine blood work analysis at the World Health Organization laboratory. Under the microscope, human blood cells showed patterns she had never seen before. They moved differently, clustering in formations that defied everything she knew about cellular behavior. "Marcus, come look at this," she called to her research partner, Dr. Marcus Okafor. He wheeled his chair over, adjusting his glasses as he peered into the microscope. "What am I looking at here?" Marcus asked, his Nigerian accent thick with confusion. "Sample from patient 0 in the Berlin incident," Sarah replied, her voice barely above a whisper. The blood was drawn 6 hours after exposure to the unknown atmospheric agent. The Berlin incident had shaken the scientific community 3 days earlier. A strange, colorless gas had descended upon the German capital like morning fog. Within hours, every human in the affected area had collapsed unconscious. Military teams in hazmat suits had evacuated the city, expecting to find corpses. Instead, they discovered something far more disturbing. Every person was alive, breathing normally, but completely unresponsive. Their bodies showed no external signs of damage, yet they remained in a deep, dreamless sleep. Marcus studied the blood sample intently. The cells were definitely human, but they behaved like nothing he had ever observed. They formed geometric patterns, almost as if they were communicating with each other through some invisible network. "Have you run the protein analysis?" he asked. Sarah nodded, pulling up data on her computer screen. "That's where it gets really strange. The cells are producing proteins that don't exist in any human genome database. It's like they're manufacturing new tools at the molecular level." Across the Atlantic Ocean, similar observations were being made at the Centers for Disease Control in Atlanta. Dr. James Rodriguez had been analyzing blood samples from the second incident site in Phoenix, Arizona. The American Southwest city had experienced the same mysterious phenomenon 2 days after Berlin. The same colorless gas, the same mass unconsciousness, the same impossible cellular behavior. "Director Walsh," James said into his phone, "we need to expand our research team immediately. These samples show cellular modifications that shouldn't be possible." Director Walsh, a veteran of biological crisis management, listened carefully to the report. "Are we dealing with a bioweapon, Rodriguez?" "I don't think so, sir. The modifications appear to be protective. The cells are building some kind of defense system from the inside out." This assessment matched reports coming in from laboratories around the world. Tokyo, London, Sydney, Sao Paulo. Every major research facility was seeing the same impossible data. Human blood cells were restructuring themselves in ways that violated fundamental biological principles. Dr. Elena Vasquez at the Institute of Biological Research in Madrid had been working around the clock since the Barcelona incident. She had discovered something that made her question everything she thought she knew about human biology. "The cells aren't just changing," she explained to her team during an emergency video conference with researchers from 12 countries. "They're upgrading. I'm seeing enhanced oxygen carrying capacity, improved immune responses, and cellular repair mechanisms that operate at 10 times normal efficiency." The conference call included the world's leading experts in cellular biology, immunology, and biochemistry. Dr. Yuki Tanaka from Tokyo shared her findings about enhanced neural connectivity in brain tissue samples. Dr. Ahmed Hassan from Cairo reported similar results in liver and kidney cells. Every organ system showed signs of rapid, systematic improvement. "Ladies and gentlemen," said Dr. Chun from Geneva, "we're not looking at cellular damage from a poison attack. We're looking at cellular enhancement. The question is, why would anyone want to improve human biology?" The answer to that question was being discovered simultaneously at radio telescopes around the globe. Dr. Patricia Moore at the Very Large Array in New Mexico had been monitoring deep space communications when she detected an anomaly in the data from the night before the Berlin incident. "There was definitely a signal," she reported to her supervisor via secure line. "Highly structured, definitely artificial, originating from somewhere beyond our solar system. The timing matches perfectly with the atmospheric anomalies in Berlin." Similar reports were coming from radio astronomy facilities worldwide. The Atacama Desert Observatory in Chile, the Square Kilometer Array in South Africa, and the 500-meter aperture spherical telescope in China all confirmed the same data. An alien transmission had reached Earth, followed within hours by the mysterious atmospheric events. Dr. Chen found herself at the center of a rapidly expanding international investigation. The WHO had established a crisis response center in Geneva, bringing together experts from every relevant field. The laboratory had become a maze of humming equipment and researchers working in shifts around the clock. Sarah, Marcus said, approaching her workstation with a tablet full of new data, the protein synthesis rates are accelerating. Whatever these cells are building, they're working faster now. She looked at the readings, feeling a chill run down her spine. Marcus, look at the timeline. The enhancement process is speeding up in patients who have been unconscious longer. The Berlin victims are showing cellular modifications that the Phoenix victims haven't developed yet. This observation led to a breakthrough in understanding. The unconscious humans weren't sick or dying. They were undergoing some kind of biological transformation that required their bodies to shut down all non-essential functions. Their cells were being systematically upgraded by microscopic machines that had been introduced through the atmospheric agent. Dr. Rodriguez in Atlanta made the connection while analyzing protein structures under an electron microscope. These aren't biological proteins, he announced during an emergency conference call. They're manufactured. We're looking at nanotechnology so advanced it can reprogram human DNA in real time. The implications hit the research community like a thunderbolt. An alien intelligence had deliberately targeted major human population centers with an agent designed to enhance human biology. But, the question remained, was this an act of war or an act of mercy? Dr. Vasquez in Madrid provided a crucial piece of the puzzle. While analyzing tissue samples from Barcelona victims, she discovered something remarkable in their immune systems. The modifications aren't random, she reported. They're specifically designed to defend against something. These cells are being prepared for biological warfare. Her statement was supported by data from research teams worldwide. Every enhanced cell showed the same characteristics: improved resistance to radiation, enhanced ability to neutralize toxins, accelerated healing, and immune responses capable of fighting off pathogens that didn't yet exist on Earth. They're vaccinating us, Dr. Chen realized during a late-night research session. Whatever sent that signal knows something about threats we haven't encountered yet. They're preparing our bodies to survive something we can't even imagine. This revelation changed everything about how the international community approached the crisis. Instead of treating the victims as casualties of an attack, medical teams began monitoring them as patients undergoing an unprecedented medical procedure. The unconscious humans were stable, their vital signs strong, their brain activity suggesting deep but healthy sleep. Dr. Moore at the radio telescope facility made another crucial discovery while analyzing the original alien transmission. The signal wasn't random, she reported. It contained detailed biological data about human physiology. Someone had been studying us for a very long time before deciding to intervene. The transmission data showed intimate knowledge of human genetics, cellular structure, immune system function, and even psychological patterns. The alien intelligence had mapped human biology with precision that exceeded Earth's own scientific understanding. They know us better than we know ourselves, Dr. Hassan observed from Cairo. And they've decided we need to be upgraded for our own survival. As research teams around the world began to piece together the full picture, a new understanding emerged. Humanity had been contacted by an alien intelligence that viewed humans as worth preserving. The atmospheric agent wasn't a weapon of conquest but a gift of protection. The unconscious victims weren't dying, they were evolving. Dr. Chen stood in her laboratory, surrounded by data that challenged every assumption about humanity's place in the universe. The blood samples under her microscope told a story of transformation, preparation, and hope. Somewhere among the stars, an intelligence that could reshape biology at the molecular level had decided that humans deserved a chance to survive whatever dangers lay ahead. The cellular modifications continued to accelerate in victims worldwide. Their bodies were being systematically prepared for challenges that human science couldn't even identify yet. The question that haunted every researcher was simple and terrifying: what kind of threat required such extensive biological preparation? As night fell over Geneva, Dr. Chen realized that humanity was no longer alone in the universe. They had allies among the stars, beings powerful enough to rewrite human biology and caring enough to ensure human survival. The poison attack had been the beginning of humanity's greatest transformation, and the cells fighting back at the molecular level were proof that someone, somewhere, believed humans were worth saving. The unconscious victims around the world continued their deep sleep, their bodies undergoing changes that would reshape the future of the human species. In laboratories across the globe, scientists worked frantically to understand modifications that represented millions of years of evolutionary advancement compressed into days. The cellular revolution had begun, and humanity would never be the same. The awakening began on the seventh day after the Berlin incident. Dr. Chen received the call at 3 a.m, jolting her from a restless sleep in the on-site dormitory she had been using at the WHO facility. "Sarah, get to the lab immediately," Marcus said urgently. "They're waking up." She threw on her clothes and ran through the empty corridors of the research center. In the main laboratory, Marcus stood before a bank of monitors displaying vital signs from medical facilities worldwide. Heart rates were increasing. Brainwave patterns were shifting from deep sleep to active consciousness. After a week of mysterious unconsciousness, the victims were coming back to life. Berlin General Hospital reported the first awakening 15 minutes ago, Marcus explained as Sarah studied the data. A 34-year-old teacher named Klaus Weber. Normal vital signs, full cognitive function, no memory of the past week. Dr. Rodriguez in Atlanta was experiencing the same phenomenon. The Phoenix victims were awakening simultaneously, despite being on different continents and in different time zones. Phone calls flooded in from research centers worldwide. Tokyo, London, Sydney, Barcelona. Everywhere the mysterious gas had descended, humans were opening their eyes and returning to consciousness. "It's coordinated," Dr. Vasquez reported from Madrid during an emergency video conference. "This isn't random biological processes. Someone is controlling the awakening schedule." The implications were staggering. Not only had an alien intelligence modified human biology, but they maintained active control over the process. The unconscious victims had been in constant communication with their mysterious benefactors throughout their transformation. Klaus Weber became the first subject for detailed post-awakening analysis. Dr. Ingrid Hoffmann at Berlin General Hospital conducted the initial examination, documenting every aspect of his condition. The man appeared completely normal, showing no external signs of the week-long unconsciousness or the cellular modifications that had been observed in his blood samples. "I feel fine," Klaus told Dr. Hoffmann during his examination. "Better than fine, actually. I feel incredible." The medical tests revealed why. Klaus's blood work showed cellular efficiency levels far beyond normal human ranges. His immune system operated with precision that made previous measurements look primitive. His cardiovascular system pumped blood with mechanical perfection. Every organ functioned at optimal capacity. "Klaus," Dr. Hoffmann said carefully, "do you remember anything from the past week? Any dreams, sensations, or experiences while you were unconscious?" Klaus considered the question thoughtfully. "Not dreams exactly. More like learning. I remember understanding things. Complex things. Like someone was teaching me, but not in words." This response was echoed by awakening victims worldwide. They described a sense of education rather than unconsciousness, as if their minds had been attending some kind of advanced university while their bodies underwent transformation. Dr. Chen flew to Berlin to conduct direct interviews with the first awakening subjects. The WHO had established Klaus Weber and 9 other early awakening victims as priority research subjects, monitoring them around the clock for any signs of complications or continued changes. "Klaus," Dr. Chen said during their first interview, "I want you to look at these images and tell me what you see." She showed him a series of photographs displaying cellular structures under extreme magnification. Klaus studied them with intense concentration, his eyes moving in patterns that suggested he was processing information at remarkable speed. "These are human immune cells," he said after a moment. "But they've been modified with nanotechnology. The modifications are designed to neutralize specific types of radiation and biological agents that don't currently exist on Earth." Dr. Chen felt her heart skip a beat. Klaus had just provided a detailed analysis that had taken teams of expert scientists weeks to develop. "How do you know that, Klaus?" "I don't know how I know it," he replied honestly. "The information is just there. Like remembering something I learned in school, except I never learned it in any school I attended." Similar reports came from awakening victims around the globe. They possessed detailed knowledge about advanced biology, chemistry, physics, and technologies that exceeded current human understanding. The alien intelligence hadn't just modified their bodies, it had enhanced their minds with knowledge that would take decades for human science to discover independently. Dr. Tanaka in Tokyo made a breakthrough discovery while interviewing Hiroshi Sato, a 42-year-old engineer who had awakened from the Tokyo incident. Hiroshi described the exact molecular structure of the enhancement nanobots, she reported to the international research team. "He drew diagrams that match our electron microscopy data perfectly." The awakening subjects weren't just returning to normal life. They were emerging as living libraries of advanced scientific knowledge. Each person contained information about different aspects of the enhancement process, as if the alien intelligence had distributed various pieces of crucial data among them. Maria Santos, who had awakened in Sao Paulo, possessed detailed knowledge about interstellar communication systems. Ahmed Rashid from Cairo understood advanced materials science. Yuki Nakamura from Osaka could explain quantum computing principles that human scientists were only beginning to explore. "They're creating a distributed database," Dr. Rodriguez realized during a conference call with researchers worldwide. Each awakening subject contains part of a larger knowledge system. Together, they represent a complete understanding of technologies we need for our survival. This pattern became clear as more subjects awakened over the following days. Each person retained their original personality and memories while gaining specific advanced knowledge that complemented information held by other subjects. The alien intelligence had carefully planned how to share critical survival information across the human population. Dr. Chin interviewed subjects from multiple incident sites, documenting the scope of knowledge they had acquired. Klaus Weber understood biological defense systems. Lisa Park from Phoenix knew about energy generation technologies. David Mitchell from London possessed information about space travel capabilities. Together, they represented a comprehensive upgrade to human technological understanding. Sarah Marcus said during one of their late-night research sessions, "We need to consider the possibility that this knowledge wasn't given randomly. What if the alien intelligence selected these specific people for specific reasons?" Investigation into the backgrounds of awakening subjects revealed a pattern that confirmed Marcus's suspicion. Each person possessed educational or professional backgrounds that made them uniquely qualified to understand and apply the knowledge they had received. Klaus Weber's background in immunology made him the perfect recipient for biological defense information. Lisa Park's engineering expertise prepared her to comprehend advanced energy technologies. They studied us extensively before implementing the enhancement program, Dr. Vasquez concluded. They knew exactly who should receive which information for maximum benefit to human civilization. The implications extended far beyond individual enhancement. The awakening subjects began demonstrating abilities that suggested their cellular modifications provided advantages beyond improved health. Klaus Weber could perceive electromagnetic radiation across a broader spectrum than normal humans. Lisa Park showed enhanced mathematical processing capabilities. David Mitchell displayed improved pattern recognition skills that bordered on precognitive ability. "We're not just looking at medical enhancement," Dr. Hassan reported from Cairo. "We're looking at the emergence of enhanced human capabilities that approach what might be called superhuman levels. These abilities manifested differently in each subject, always relating to their specific area of enhanced knowledge." Maria Santos could detect and interpret radio signals that normal equipment couldn't process. Ahmed Rashid could identify molecular structures by touch. Yuki Nakamura demonstrated computational abilities that exceeded advanced computer systems. Dr. Moore at the radio telescope facility made another crucial discovery when she invited Maria Santos to assist with deep space monitoring. Maria detected signals that our equipment missed completely, she reported. She's functioning as a living radio telescope with capabilities that exceed our most advanced technology. The awakening subjects were eager to share their knowledge with human scientists, but they faced a fundamental challenge. Their understanding often exceeded the vocabulary and conceptual frameworks available in human languages. They possessed information about technologies and phenomena for which no appropriate words existed. It's like trying to explain quantum mechanics to someone who has never learned basic mathematics, Klaus Weber explained to Dr. Chen. The concepts are clear in my mind, but translating them into language that current human science can understand requires creating entirely new terminologies. Working groups formed around each awakening subject, with teams of specialists helping to translate their enhanced knowledge into forms that could benefit human civilization. The process was slow and often frustrating, as scientists struggled to comprehend concepts that challenged fundamental assumptions about physics, biology, and technology. Dr. Chen found herself coordinating between multiple research teams as they worked to decode the information provided by the enhanced humans. Each breakthrough led to new questions and deeper mysteries about the alien intelligence that had initiated humanity's transformation. The knowledge they provided suggests that we're being prepared for specific challenges, she reported during a high-level briefing with government officials from around the world. The enhancements aren't random improvements. They're targeted preparations for threats and opportunities that humanity will encounter in the near future. The awakening subjects themselves seem to understand this purpose, though their explanations remained frustratingly incomplete. They spoke about convergence events and contact protocols and survival thresholds using terminology that suggested intimate familiarity with concepts that human science had never encountered. Something is coming, Klaus Weber told Dr. Chen during one of their sessions. I don't know exactly what, but the enhancements were designed to prepare us for contact with forces that will challenge everything we think we know about our place in the universe. As more subjects awakened around the world, the scope of humanity's transformation became increasingly clear. They weren't dealing with a single incident or isolated enhancement. They were witnessing the beginning of a planned evolution that would reshape human civilization in ways that current science could barely imagine. The cellular modifications continued to evolve even after awakening, suggesting that the transformation process was far from complete. The enhanced humans represented just the first phase of humanity's preparation for a future that would require capabilities beyond current human limitations. In laboratories worldwide, scientists worked frantically to understand and apply the knowledge provided by their enhanced subjects. Each revelation opened new possibilities for technological advancement while raising deeper questions about the intelligence that had made such gifts possible. The awakening subjects themselves seemed to understand that they were part of something larger than individual enhancement. They spoke about responsibility and preparation and the need to ensure that humanity was ready for challenges that would test the limits of their enhanced capabilities. Dr. Chen stood in her laboratory, surrounded by data that documented humanity's first steps toward a transformed future. The awakening subjects were living proof that humans were no longer alone in the universe, and their enhanced knowledge suggested that much greater changes lay ahead. The cellular revolution had entered its second phase, and humanity's enhanced guardians were awakening with the knowledge and capabilities needed to guide their species through the transformations yet to come. The contact came exactly 30 days after the first awakening. Dr. Chen was in her laboratory at the WHO facility when every enhanced human on Earth suddenly stopped what they were doing and looked toward the sky. The synchronized behavior was reported simultaneously from research centers, hospitals, and monitoring stations worldwide. Klaus Weber, who had been participating in a cognitive assessment in Berlin, stood up abruptly and walked to the nearest window. His eyes fixed on a point in the clear afternoon sky, and he remained motionless for exactly 3 minutes and 17 seconds. When he returned to his seat, his expression carried a mixture of wonder and solemnity. "They're here," he told Dr. Hoffman simply. "The ones who enhanced us. They want to make formal contact." Similar statements were being made by enhanced humans across the globe. In Tokyo, Hiroshi Sato interrupted his engineering consultation to announce that the teachers have arrived. Maria Santos in Sao Paulo suddenly began receiving complex data transmissions that her enhanced abilities allowed her to decode in real time. Dr. Chen immediately contacted research centers worldwide to coordinate the response. The enhanced humans were displaying unprecedented unity of purpose, all receiving the same information simultaneously despite being separated by thousands of miles. Sarah Marcus said, monitoring communications equipment that had begun detecting structured signals from deep space, were receiving transmissions on frequencies that shouldn't be able to penetrate our atmosphere. The enhanced humans aren't just receiving the signals, they're amplifying and processing them. The alien intelligence was using humanity's enhanced population as a biological communication network. Each enhanced human served as both receiver and transmitter, creating a global communication system that bypassed all conventional technology. Dr. Rodriguez in Atlanta reported that Phoenix-enhanced subjects were demonstrating coordinated behavior without any apparent communication between them. They're acting as a single organism distributed across multiple bodies, he observed. Whatever's communicating with them has created a temporary collective consciousness. The phenomenon lasted for 6 hours, during which enhanced humans around the world received detailed information about their benefactors and the reasons for humanity's transformation. When the communication ended, they began sharing what they had learned with the scientific teams that had been studying them. "We call them the gardeners," Klaus Weber explained to Dr. Chen during their first post-contact interview. They've been monitoring the development of intelligent species throughout this region of the galaxy for millions of years. They intervene when they identify species with potential that face existential threats. The information provided by the enhanced humans painted a picture of a benevolent alien civilization that operated on timescales nearly incomprehensible to human thinking. The gardeners had been observing Earth for thousands of years, carefully studying human development and assessing humanity's potential for growth and contribution to galactic civilization. They don't conquer or control, Maria Santos explained from Sao Paulo. They guide and protect species that show promise. The enhancements were given because they identified specific threats that humanity will face within the next century. These threats, according to the enhanced humans, included hostile alien forces that systematically destroyed emerging civilizations, cosmic phenomena that could sterilize entire solar systems, and technological developments that could lead to species self-destruction. The gardeners had enhanced humanity to ensure survival against these challenges. Dr. Tanaka in Tokyo learned from Hiroshi Sato that the enhancement program was just the beginning of humanity's integration into a larger galactic community. The gardeners maintain a network of enhanced species throughout this sector of the galaxy, Sato explained. Each species contributes unique capabilities to collective defense and exploration efforts. Humanity's role in this network was to serve as biological adapters and problem solvers. The enhanced humans possessed unique cognitive flexibility that made them capable of developing solutions to challenges that purely technological civilizations couldn't address. "We're being invited to join something incredible," David Mitchell told researchers in London. "A community of species that work together to preserve and advance intelligent life throughout the galaxy. But the invitation comes with responsibilities and dangers that we need to understand." The enhanced humans began receiving detailed information about technologies that would be gradually introduced to human civilization. These included clean energy systems that could eliminate environmental destruction, medical technologies that could extend human lifespan indefinitely, and transportation systems that would allow exploration of other star systems. However, each technological gift came with specific requirements for how it could be used. The gardeners had observed numerous species destroy themselves with premature access to advanced technologies. Humanity would receive new capabilities only as they demonstrated the wisdom and maturity to use them responsibly. The enhancement program was a test, Lisa Park explained from Phoenix. They needed to know if humans could accept fundamental biological changes without descending into chaos or conflict. Our response to the enhancements determined whether we were ready for membership in the galactic community. This test had apparently been passed successfully. Governments worldwide had cooperated in studying the enhancements rather than trying to weaponize them. Scientists had shared information freely across national boundaries. Enhanced humans had been treated as medical subjects rather than security threats. Dr. Chen found herself at the center of humanity's first formal diplomatic contact with an alien intelligence. The HFY facility had been designated as the primary coordination center for ongoing communication with the Gardeners, and enhanced humans from around the world were being brought to Geneva to participate in expanded contact protocols. Sarah, Klaus Weber told her during a private conversation, "The Gardeners want you to understand something important." The enhancement program was designed specifically to create humans who could serve as translators between their civilization and ours. We're not just enhanced humans anymore. We're humanity's ambassadors to the galaxy. This revelation carried enormous implications for how enhanced humans would be integrated into society. They weren't simply individuals with improved biology and advanced knowledge. They were humanity's bridge to a larger universe, carrying responsibilities that extended far beyond personal enhancement. The enhanced humans began demonstrating new capabilities that had been dormant until activated by direct contact with the Gardeners. Klaus Weber developed the ability to perceive and manipulate electromagnetic fields with his mind. Maria Santos could project her consciousness across interstellar distances to observe conditions in other star systems. Ahmed Rashid gained the ability to restructure matter at the molecular level through focused concentration. These aren't random abilities, Dr. Vasquez observed from Madrid. Each enhanced human is developing capabilities that relate directly to their role in humanity's integration with galactic civilization. Klaus will help develop defense systems. Maria will serve as a long-range scout and communicator. Ahmed will assist with terraforming and resource development. The enhanced humans described their new abilities as natural extensions of the knowledge they had gained during their unconscious period. The Gardeners had provided not just information but the biological foundations necessary to apply that knowledge in ways that exceeded current human limitations. Dr. Moore at the Radio Telescope facility worked with Maria Santos to establish ongoing communication with the Gardener network. Maria can detect and translate signals that our most advanced equipment can't even perceive, Moore reported. She's functioning as a living communications satellite with capabilities that exceed anything in our technology. Through these communications, humanity began learning about the broader galactic community they were being invited to join. The network included species with technologies and capabilities that spanned millions of years of development. Some existed as pure energy consciousnesses. Others had transcended biological limitations through integration with advanced artificial intelligence systems. The diversity is incredible, Hiroshi Sato explained to Dr. Tanaka. Each species contributes different strengths to the collective. Some excel at exploration, others at problem solving, still others at maintaining harmony between different civilizations. Humanity's contribution will be our adaptability and creative thinking. However, joining the galactic community also meant accepting protection responsibilities for less advanced species. The Gardeners rotated guardianship duties among member civilizations, ensuring that emerging species received the same guidance and protection that had been provided to current network members. Within a few decades, humanity will be responsible for monitoring and protecting developing species in nearby star systems, David Mitchell explained to researchers in London. The enhanced humans will serve as the primary interface for these protection operations. This responsibility required humanity to develop not just advanced technology but advanced wisdom. The Gardeners would provide tools and knowledge, but humans would need to demonstrate the judgment necessary to use them appropriately. The enhanced humans began working with research teams worldwide to develop plans for humanity's gradual integration into galactic civilization. The process would take several generations, with each step carefully managed to prevent social, economic, or political disruption. The Gardeners learned from experience with other species that too rapid advancement leads to civilization collapse, Klaus Weber explained to Dr. Chen. They've developed protocols for gradual integration that preserve the essential character of each species while providing the capabilities needed for galactic participation. These protocols included careful management of technological introduction, gradual expansion of human presence beyond Earth, and systematic education of human populations about their place in the larger universe. The enhanced humans would serve as teachers and guides throughout this process. Dr. Chen realized that she was witnessing the beginning of humanity's greatest transformation. The enhancements had been just the first step in a process that would ultimately reshape human civilization in ways that current thinking could barely comprehend. The enhanced humans themselves seemed to understand the magnitude of the changes ahead. They spoke about their responsibilities with a solemnity that reflected deep awareness of the consequences of their choices. Humanity's future depended on their ability to serve as effective bridges between two radically different civilizations. "We're not just enhanced humans anymore," Maria Santos observed during a gathering of enhanced individuals in Geneva. "We're the advanced team for humanity's emergence into galactic civilization. Everything we do now will determine whether our species successfully makes that transition." The Gardeners continued to monitor humanity's progress through their enhanced representatives, providing guidance and support as needed. The communication network established through the enhanced humans allowed for real-time consultation on decisions that could affect humanity's future. Dr. Chen stood in her laboratory, surrounded by data that documented humanity's first steps toward becoming a spacefaring civilization. The enhanced humans represented more than successful medical intervention. They were living proof that humanity had been deemed worthy of advancement, and their continued development would guide the species toward a future among the stars. The cellular revolution had evolved into a civilizational revolution, and the enhanced guardians were preparing humanity for responsibilities and opportunities that would challenge every assumption about human limitations and potential. The first test came 18 months after initial contact. Dr. Chen was in her expanded laboratory at the WHO facility when enhanced humans worldwide simultaneously detected an approaching threat that conventional technology couldn't perceive. The synchronous alert system that had developed among the enhanced population activated with unprecedented urgency. Klaus Weber appeared at the Geneva facility within hours, having traveled from Berlin using transportation methods that he had somehow developed through his enhanced capabilities. His face carried an expression of grim determination as he briefed Dr. Chen and her team about the incoming danger. "A harvester probe has entered our solar system," Klaus explained, his enhanced senses still monitoring communications from the Gardner network. "The harvesters are a machine intelligence that systematically destroys emerging civilizations to prevent them from becoming competitors. The Gardeners have been protecting us from them, but now we need to participate in our own defense." This was the moment the enhancement program had been designed to address. The Gardeners had prepared humanity not just for peaceful integration into galactic civilization, but for the violent realities of defending intelligent life against forces that viewed emerging species as threats to be eliminated. Enhanced humans around the world began demonstrating coordinated defensive capabilities that exceeded anything previously observed. Maria Santos in Sao Paulo established real-time communication with Gardner defense networks across multiple star systems. Ahmed Rashid in Cairo began manufacturing defensive materials using molecular manipulation abilities that transformed ordinary matter into substances capable of withstanding technological attacks from advanced machine intelligences. The probe is conducting reconnaissance, Hiroshi Sato reported from Tokyo, where he was coordinating with enhanced humans throughout Asia. "It's analyzing our technological development, population distribution, and defensive capabilities. Based on its findings, it will either withdraw or summon a full harvester fleet to eliminate humanity." Dr. Rodriguez in Atlanta worked with enhanced humans from the Phoenix incident to establish defensive perimeters around major population centers. The enhanced individuals could perceive and manipulate energy fields that conventional technology couldn't detect, creating protection systems that operated on principles beyond current human understanding. "They're not just using advanced technology," Rodriguez reported to the International Coordination Center. "They're functioning as living weapons systems with capabilities that seem to violate physical laws we thought were absolute." The enhanced humans explained that their abilities represented biological access to quantum field manipulation, dimensional engineering, and consciousness projection across spacetime. These capabilities had been gradually activated as humanity demonstrated readiness to handle progressively more advanced responsibilities. David Mitchell in London coordinated defensive operations across Europe, working with enhanced humans who had developed specialized capabilities for detecting and neutralizing harvester surveillance technology. "The probe is trying to map our defensive capabilities," he reported. "But it can't properly analyze defenses based on biological quantum manipulation because its programming doesn't account for that possibility. This technological blindness represented humanity's primary advantage against the harvesters. As a purely machine intelligence, the harvester systems were optimized to counter technological defenses but had no programming for dealing with biological entities that could manipulate fundamental physical forces through enhanced consciousness. Dr. Chen found herself coordinating humanity's first organized defense against an alien threat. The enhanced humans had formed a command structure that operated through their shared consciousness network, making decisions at speeds that allowed real-time response to harvester probe activities throughout the solar system. Sarah, Klaus Weber told her during a brief break in defensive operations, "You need to understand what's happening here. This isn't just about defending Earth. The gardeners are using our defense of humanity as a test case for other enhanced species throughout the galaxy. If we succeed, it proves that their enhancement protocols can create effective defenders against harvester threats." The implications were staggering. Humanity's defense wasn't just about survival, it was about demonstrating the effectiveness of biological enhancement as a defensive strategy that could be applied to protect other emerging civilizations. The enhanced humans began deploying defensive technologies that combined gardener knowledge with uniquely human innovative thinking. Lisa Park in Phoenix developed energy distribution networks that turned Earth's entire electromagnetic field into a defensive system. Yuki Nakamura in Osaka created computational interfaces that allowed enhanced humans to coordinate with gardener artificial intelligence systems across interstellar distances. "We're not just defending," Maria Santos explained from her coordination center in Sao Paulo. "We're innovating. The enhanced capabilities allow us to develop defensive strategies that even the gardeners hadn't considered." These innovations included biological quantum shields that could deflect harvester energy weapons, consciousness-based communication systems that couldn't be intercepted by machine intelligence, and matter manipulation techniques that could transform entire planets into defensive installations. Dr. Tanaka in Tokyo documented the enhanced humans' development of what could only be described as consciousness-based technology. "They're using their enhanced minds as direct interfaces with physical reality," she reported. "It's like they've learned to program the universe using thought as code." The Harvester probe's reconnaissance activities intensified as it attempted to understand humanity's defensive capabilities. Enhanced humans reported detecting scanning beams that probed Earth's biosphere, technological infrastructure, and population centers. The machine intelligence was building a comprehensive profile of human civilization to determine the threat level humanity represented. "The probe is particularly interested in our enhanced humans," Ahmed Rashid reported from Cairo. "It recognizes that they represent something outside its programming parameters. It's trying to determine whether they're a natural evolutionary development or artificial enhancement." This uncertainty was crucial to humanity's defensive strategy. If the Harvester probe classified the enhanced humans as natural evolution, it would recommend immediate destruction to prevent further development. If it recognized them as artificial enhancement, it would attempt to trace the source and, potentially, discover the gardener network. Klaus Weber coordinated with enhanced humans worldwide to implement deception protocols that would confuse the probe's analysis. "We need to make ourselves appear as a natural but non-threatening evolutionary development," he explained. "Advanced enough to be interesting but not advanced enough to be classified as an immediate threat." This deception required the enhanced humans to carefully limit their demonstrated capabilities while maintaining enough defensive readiness to respond if the probe escalated to active attack. They walked a delicate balance between appearing harmless and maintaining genuine protective capabilities. The enhanced humans' unique cognitive flexibility proved crucial for developing and implementing such complex deception strategies. Their ability to think in ways that combined human creativity with enhanced logical processing allowed them to outmaneuver machine intelligence that operated on purely algorithmic analysis. Dr. Chen worked with research teams worldwide to document the enhanced humans' defensive innovations. Each technique they developed represented advances in physics, biology, and consciousness studies that exceeded theoretical frameworks by centuries. "They're not just using advanced technology," she observed during a briefing with government officials. "They're demonstrating that consciousness itself can be used as a tool for manipulating physical reality. The implications for human development are beyond anything we previously imagined." The Harvester probe's reconnaissance mission continued for 3 weeks, during which enhanced humans maintained constant vigilance and continued refining their defensive capabilities. The machine intelligence's analysis protocols required extensive data collection before making classification decisions that would determine humanity's fate. The probe is reaching decision threshold, Maria Santos reported as enhanced humans worldwide detected changes in the machine's scanning patterns. It's preparing to transmit its findings to Harvester Command for evaluation. This transmission would determine whether humanity faced immediate destruction or gained additional time for development. The enhanced humans had done everything possible to influence the probe's classification, but the final decision would depend on algorithms beyond human understanding. The transmission occurred during a coordinated global moment when every enhanced human simultaneously projected their consciousness toward the probe, creating a temporary collective intelligence that exceeded the analytical capabilities of any single mind. This projection lasted only seconds but provided a demonstration of human potential that confused the probe's classification systems. The transmission was inconclusive, Klaus Weber announced to coordination centers worldwide. The probe classified humanity as anomalous development requiring extended observation. We've gained time, but we're now under continuous surveillance. This result was the best possible outcome under the circumstances. Humanity had avoided immediate destruction while gaining recognition as a civilization worthy of continued study. The enhanced humans had successfully demonstrated enough potential to justify their continued existence without revealing capabilities that would classify them as immediate threats. The Gardner Network expressed satisfaction with humanity's performance during the crisis. Through their enhanced representatives, they conveyed that the defensive innovations developed by humans would be shared with other emerging civilizations facing similar threats. We've proven that biological enhancement can create effective defenders against machine intelligence threats, David Mitchell explained to researchers in London. The techniques we developed are already being adapted for use by other enhanced species throughout the galaxy. Humanity's successful defense established the species as a valuable contributor to galactic civilization. The enhanced humans had demonstrated that human creative thinking combined with advanced biological capabilities could generate solutions to problems that had challenged the Gardner Network for millennia. Dr. Chen realized that humanity had passed its most crucial test. The species had demonstrated not just survival capability but innovative contribution to galactic defense efforts. The enhanced humans had proven themselves worthy of their enhancements and ready for greater responsibilities within the cosmic community. The months following the Harvester probe incident saw accelerated integration of humanity into Gardner civilization. Enhanced humans began traveling to other star systems to assist with protection operations for other emerging species. Their unique capabilities made them valuable consultants for species facing similar enhancement decisions. We become teachers, Klaus Weber observed during one of his reports from an assignment in a distant solar system. The Gardners are using our experience to refine their enhancement protocols for other species. What we learned about combining biological advancement with defensive innovation is being applied throughout their network. The enhanced humans' development continued to accelerate as they took on greater responsibilities within galactic civilization. Each assignment to protect or assist other emerging species provided new challenges that stimulated further growth of their capabilities. Dr. Chen found herself coordinating humanity's expanding role in cosmic affairs. The WHO facility had evolved into Earth's primary diplomatic center for interstellar relations, managing communications and coordination between humanity and dozens of other enhanced species throughout the galaxy. The cellular revolution that had begun with a mysterious atmospheric agent had transformed into humanity's emergence as a spacefaring civilization with unique contributions to galactic defense and development. The enhanced humans served as living bridges between species, facilitating cooperation and innovation on scales that span light years and involved challenges that tested the limits of imagination. Standing in her laboratory, now equipped with technologies that would have seemed impossible 2 years earlier, Dr. Chen reflected on humanity's incredible transformation. The poison attack had indeed triggered cellular fighting, but that fighting had been preparation for responsibilities that extended across the stars. The enhanced humans continued their work as guardians, teachers, and innovators throughout the galaxy. Their cellular modifications had proven to be the foundation for capabilities that would ensure not just human survival but human contribution to the preservation and advancement of intelligent life throughout the cosmos. Humanity's greatest test had become humanity's greatest triumph, and the cells that had fought back at the molecular level continued to evolve, preparing for challenges and opportunities that stretched toward an infinite future among the stars.